I'm just going to post this again. This is the manifesto as it is in full. And I'm not going to read it all out to you. It's just to highlight what I think are the keywords for the new Nordic cuisine as it was defined in 2004. And what I really like is the idea is that it should be to the benefit and advantage of everyone in the Nordic countries. This was a way the chefs, they invited everybody in to contribute to a development here. And I think that was actually the key selling point. That's why so many people didn't see it as a chef's project, although it was perhaps perceived as being elitist if you were looking at how Noma was doing it. One of the most important things that I also see in the past years has been the changing view on chefs, how the world sees chefs. I mean, it's rare. If you go back 40 years, you wouldn't see on the cover of Time magazine, you wouldn't see three chefs standing together talking about how the world should cook. Because food has been a domain where there is now almost half gods. The popularity, they are like rock stars. They are sought after, and the incredible connectivity that we have through internet, through everything, has made it possible for people to fly all over the world and to immediately know what is the new things that are going on in Noma, or the new things that are going on in Bewegung or other restaurants in different places. And it's incredibly interesting to be at this. But in reality, this is not so new, because someone took this idea of building on regional, fresh produce and good standards of just culinary traditions, and that was Alice Waters who started doing that in 1971 in Japanese in California. And she reinvented California cuisine at that time. She actually made local, organic, well-prepared food, something that the Californians should be proud of. What we do at Nordic Food Lab is that we try to understand what is delicious, what is the edible potential of foods that we see, or raw materials that we see. And I'm the scientist on board this. We used to be on a houseboat, but now we are landed now in the University of Copenhagen, where we have our own lab, and we collaborate with various partners inside the university. And as a scientist, I'm the one who comes in and explain why it works when everybody else has moved ahead. Because we are often attracted to new, unusual, and innovative products. But novel products are most often not liked immediately. If we have something that is so radically new, it takes time for the general public to absorb this idea and to understand why it's good. And this principle was framed by one of the most successful industrial designers in the 20th century, Raymond Loewy, who worked in the US from around 1920 until the mid-70s. And he calls this the Maya principle, the most advanced yet acceptable. And this is something we bear very much in mind when we work at Nordic Food Lab. We try to present new foods to the public, to tell ideas about how we think food should be. But if we take these ideas and replant them so far out that the public does not understand what we're doing, then we're doing ourselves a disfavor. So we have to live in this suspension between it has to be radical, advanced, and novel. On the other hand, it has to have some level of familiarity, some level of recognizability for people to comprehend the idea. And we use that as a guiding principle in any food that we put out. Torfi, he beat me to it. He had to speak before me, so he talked about sustainable hedonism. And this is a very, very Nordic principle. It's framed by the architect Bjarke Ingels, that he says that sustainability is not a question of how much we have to sacrifice of our current lifestyle in order to live sustainably, but it's a question of how can we design our future ecosystems, our future lifestyles, so that they are recycling as much as possible and they're respecting the sustainability of everything that we do. So please don't think of sustainability as something where we have to abstain, but use it as an engine to be innovative, to think about how we can create deliciousness out of circular, not circular economy, but circular thoughts in relation to our production system. At Noma, they have 4 people devoted to developing new menus. That's a trend in the highest restaurants, that they really work hard to make something innovative all the time. The menu is changing so rapidly. When René Redzepi declared that Noma would shut down in 2000 by the end of 2016 and reopen in 2017 at some point, he also said that everything we have done up to now has just been to train ourselves for what comes next. And I mean, this is one of the most influential restaurants in the world, so don't be content with getting to a certain level. Continue to innovate. Continue to come up with new things.